What's going on, guys? This is Justin, and this is Face Off Friday. Once again, we will be doing a Madden 25 online ranked game. This is, I believe, episode 2 of Face Off Friday, which will typically be kind of like a one-on-one, a head-to-head, whether that be in Madden, Call of Duty, Tiger Woods, Halo, etc. My opponent chose the Seahawks. Just like last week, I will click the left trigger and get the random team, and it actually happens to be the Washington Redskins, which, you know, are not a bad team, really. They have, even though RG3 was just confirmed out, just got the Sports Center update on my phone, that RG3 was confirmed out for the rest of the season. RG3 in this game is really good. He's really fast, he's really elusive, and he actually has a pretty good deep ball and a good arm power as well. They have pretty decent wide receivers, at least one in Pierre Garçon, decent tight end. Their defense isn't anything special. Their secondary, they do have D'Angelo Hall, so that works in my favor. That's kind of nice. But I was not too excited going up against my Seahawks. They are the best team in this game, at least from a defensive standpoint, and they have a lot of weapons on offense with Wilson, Lynch. I believe they have, I always get them confused. I think it's Sidney Rice. Wow, I really should know that. But they're also the best team in the NFL, and the team that I root for. I think I've said this a couple times, but I was born like 15, 20 minutes south of Seattle. So they're my team. Still in Washington. Still my team. So yeah, let's get into the gameplay a little bit. Usually, and you will see in this game, I didn't really mean to pick game flow right there. I do that a lot. Just I click the buttons too fast and it gives me game flow. But that's that's fine. I'll get to see what their audibles are out of this set. They actually have a read option as an audible, and I think that's what I go with for the first play. And RG3 fumbles on the very first play of the game. Seattle defense. It's just they force things that you would never find in any other defense. You know, even San Francisco. San Francisco is hard hitters. Carolina has a good defense. You know, but the Seahawks, they create the most random fumbles, and they have the best secondary. Tell this X route's going to be open, kind of one-on-one with no help. And look at that move right there. Look at that move by Pierre Garçon. That is a touchdown. That is amazing. I'm sorry, but that was some ridiculous moves. Ran backwards for about 5 yards, juked out 2 defenders, and then outran their entire secondary. Yeah, I was pretty happy with that. I was pretty happy when that happened. So it's pretty nice. You know, the first play, RG3 fumbles. The second play of the drive, I throw I think it was like a 65-yard touchdown pass. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Do this little squibber kick to get the hit stick, and that wasn't very exciting. I think I injured him though. I did injure him. So that is, you know, no offense to, like I've said this before, you know, even when you're playing fantasy football and somebody gets injured, you're like, man, you know, that's kind of bad that he got injured. But in Madden, you know, that's kind of a goal of the game. You know, injure as many of your opponent's teammates as you can. In a, what am I trying to say? Way that coincides with the game, you know, not like late hits and stuff like that. So his first pass play, break it up. Like I said, the Redskins have a pretty good secondary, so I wasn't too worried about that. I was more worried about our front four, because we're going to be running I think it's yeah, we're in the 4-3. Or is this a 5-2? It's hard to tell from this formation. Looks like a 5-2. But it's going to be harder to stop Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch than to stop their secondary. And this looks like an obvious run play, right? You have 2 wide receivers, and it is a run play. You know, I say this all the time. Try to be, try to be different. You know, when you come out in 2 wide receiver sets, audible and throw it to them. You know, because your opponent is not going to be expecting a pass when, like in this 3 wide set. This looks like an obvious passing play. You know, there's way more passing plays in 3 wide sets than there are running plays. You know, so a run here would have been a good mix-up. I would not have been expecting that, and that's should have been.
Good job by the defense that whole series.
But Luke Wilson, the tight end, he's actually going to be a really decent tight end. I think in the next couple years. Zach Miller's. He's solid, but he's kind of, going out of style. I don't know if you can really say that about a tight end. But he elects to punt here, which I was pretty happy about. I always audible out of punt return, just because if they fake a punt and you're in punt return, it can be an easy touchdown. It really can. So even on, PATs, I like to audible out. And I called for a fair catch, and he touched me. So, I'll take that free 15 yards. I don't know if that was really a fair call there. Actually ends up being a 26-yard difference. So I was pretty happy about that. Game was going my way. I had scored on my first drive, up 7-0. I had stopped him on defense his first drive. I was feeling pretty good. I had taken out his. He's actually in all the 2 tight end sets, obviously. Luke Wilson's in them. And A is wide open, right over the middle. Santana Moss making some moves there, making a miss. I think I could go right back to this play. Where is it? I could go right back to it, though. Maybe not. I thought I went right back to that play. But, I used that play later in the game. That's all you have to know. Rolling out here with RG3, got to throw it away. The only person I really could have thrown it to was, I think that was Morgan on the right. And he was double covered. So, if you don't know that little trick, when you're, in sprint, in a run, with pretty much any quarterback, unless they're, an amazing Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, then they might actually throw it close to the guy. But you don't have to press the throwaway button. You can just press it like you're gonna throw it to him. And it won't even be close. One-on-one with Santana Moss. I decided to try to fire one in there. That didn't work out too well. It was close, actually. But we are now down to 3rd and 10 on his 35-yard line. I probably should have ran it some more. Just looking at the very start of this game, the score, I had stopped him. But you see this route with Moss right over the middle again. He's wide open, beating those. I think it's zones. A 30-yard reception and then a 22-yard reception. So that's, I don't know if I go back to that a lot in this game. I really don't think I do. To talk about my offense a little bit, I like to play primarily out of the gun. When I get in close, I like to run it, so when I get in within the 10, I'll go to I-form or I'll go to the pistol or something. But mostly I like to play out of the gun and use Parasite wide open and then take the 14-0 lead. But back to the offense, I like to use, it's usually the first set in the gun playbook, and it's usually named after the team. I think for the Seahawks, it's called the Split Hawk. I forget what it's called for the Redskins. Maybe it's the Split Skins. I don't know. But maybe it's a Split Hawk for a bunch. But you will see. Here we go again. Do I get the hit stick? Yes, but nothing happens. Not exciting. So you will see here on my defense, I like to run the. Oh, they had the 3-4. I don't really like the 3-4, especially when they have Marshawn Lynch. The 4-3 obviously is a much better run stopper. But I think I was using the 3-4 mainly in cover 3. You know, I usually like to go either the 4-3 if they don't have the 4-3 in their playbook. You know, you go to the 3-4, and here's what I'm talking about with not having a 4-3.
Boy, after watching that
You don't get the type of pressure you do with the 4-3.
Good job up front.
You know, with the 4-3, it's much easier to get a block shed off, to get to the quarterback, to get to the running back. So the 3-4, I wasn't very happy. You know, it didn't matter that I didn't know that the Redskins didn't have the 3-4 because they were a completely random team. But I still wasn't happy to find it. You know, I would have preferred for them to have the 4-3. Gets off a little slant to Golden Tate here. You know, he's decently moving the ball in this drive. He had that goes almost 15-yard run by Lynch. And this looks like an obvious running play. I should have stacked the line here. He is in I form with 2 wide and a stack line, but he throws it. See? So that was perfect on his part. You come out in the I form and you throw a little...
he's there every day at practice.
I think that was like a little in route to Zach Miller. But that's good. That's good on his part. Because this, once again, this one looks like, yep. He's just beating me. I don't know if that's like, I think that's just like a simple halfback stretch. But I can't let Marshawn Lynch run all over me. It's tough with the Washington defense. They're not great. I think they have one person on their defensive line who's in the 90s, I think, but the rest of them are not good. I use their Fletcher here. I bring him in on the blitz, and he throws a horrible pass. I don't even know who he's going for
Don't
there.
make the mistake throwing it up the field.
But 2nd and 10 at his 15. Just to let you guys know, if you guys have been watching this, if you've been watching this series, I do play My Ultimate Team or MUT. Upload those on Tuesday. Call My Ultimate Team Tuesdays. Nice screen right there by him, and then he, of course, block sheds with.
When you're a quarterback throwing against
but that's fine. I'm pushing back. Play My Ultimate Team on Tuesdays. I just had probably the best game I've ever played in MUT or in head-to-head or in almost any Madden. It was an amazing game. I'll probably leave and shouldn't have tried to bat that. Should have tried to do something. I will probably leave a annotation on the screen to that game. It was an amazing game. Went into overtime. Went back and forth. It was a great game, you know, and. Talked to the guy afterwards, super nice guy. So I'll put an annotation on the screen for that. Be looking for that. Anyways, back to the game. It's 4th and 8, and I get in there with Fletcher. So at this point, I was like, you know, just go ahead, just quit out, make this a short video for me. You know, I don't mind. 14 minutes into the game, you know, that's perfectly fine. I'll take my victory. Up 14-0. Get Alfred Morris on the, I think it was kind of a,
Hey, this defense, they are tough. When you run that
power to the left.
They got some men up front. And that time they stopped.
God, I missed what it was called again. The split. It's always the split. It's your first option in the gun package. Let's see. B's going to be open. Yep, Garcon beating the coverage again. And if I could have made... Is that Sherman? Yeah. If I could have made Sherman miss on that, which Sherman does not do, and he does not get beat very often, could have taken that in for the touchdown. But, you know, I am extremely happy with the way this game has been going so far. 14-0. I got the ball. I'm driving. 2nd quarter, you know, feeling pretty good. I think, what am I in? This is the PAF slide. Get Garcon on the out route, and look at that. Just every time. I don't even know if he used it. Just hit stick galore by the Seahawks.
The
I
offensive
don't know
line
if...
I
don't think he injured any of my people in this game, which is amazing. Because usually RG3 gets injured extremely easily, and it's really frustrating. As he comes right through the middle and crushes RG3. At least he got up. Oh, split redskin. There we go. I saw it. It's called split redskin. So yeah, usually it's split and then named after the team somewhat. This is a good setup. I do like this setup as well. Kind of like the bench setup. And then you have the running back running kind of a half wheel route, coming out of the backfield on like a C circle route, and then just kind of waiting there in the flats for you. But RG3 completed 5 passes in a row. Yeah. This is the same pass I hit over the middle, and I tried to force it in there. But that was the same pass on the last drive. Is it the last drive or the first drive that I hit Santana Moss with twice in a row? And 4th and 8, I'm up 14-0. I contemplated it, but I was like, you know what? I'll take my 17-0 lead. No reason to really give him a chance in this game if I don't get it. So I'll go up by 3 scores. I'm perfectly happy with that. Kai Forbeth. What a cool name. And then Biggers with the hit.
This one back.
It's so frustrating. So frustrating when that happens. It's the only reason I kick it that way is to, crush the guy on the outside that catches it. And if you notice, he comes out in this same almost scheme the entire game. 2 wide, 2 tight end set, 1 running back. And look at me just diving and missing.
Fletcher makes the tackle.
Washington defense is just so bad, and especially when you put him against Marshawn Lynch, that's not a fair fight.
First down here after the run.
It's really bad. He should have, yeah.
That running attack again here on first down.
Decent stop. I don't know really what to say about that. He definitely should have ran it more. He should have started off running it more. He started off passing it a lot. And with the Seahawks, you don't need to pass it really at all. You can run with... Look at me just running back and forth. You can run with Marshawn Lynch and just play, defense. And your playmakers on defense will usually get you, some sort of turnover just free. Without using it, without doing the hit stick yourself. Usually they'll get you, an interception or a fumble, at least 1 in the entire game. And I think does he get the ball off here? Yeah, he does. I don't know what he was, if he was trying to use up all the time and then his wide receivers running into each other. Great news. I don't know if he was trying to run out the clock here so that I didn't get the ball back. And then he goes to 5 wide. I was like, what? So I have to put up the man defense. I think it's a cover 2 sink. I did not expect him to come out 5 wide at all. I was not very happy about it. And then he throws a horrible pass. You're 3rd and 4. Why would you come out in a 5 wide? I don't understand. You can easily run the ball twice from 3rd and 4, get yourself a first down, and kind of clock me out for this half. And sorry about the leg. This was actually, I think it was in game. There we go. Now it's gone. But yeah, I don't understand that. Why he would come out in 5 wide. I probably should have shifted Riley. I don't really like this. Looking at this defense I'm in right now, I should have audibled out of this.
Wilson's going to take the snap from the shotgun.
But I do get my hand up, swatted away. So not only am I up 17-0, 3 minutes left, 3:15 left in the second quarter, in the first half. But I have the ball, and I'm driving. Yeah, I picked the wrong hole right there. I know everybody on their screen saw the huge hole in front of me, and then just saw me run right into my offensive line. But hey, it happens. This is the goes slot post. I can read. I just saw it on the place. that I hit Moss with. And look at me forcing it in. How is that not? That should be a penalty, right? I feel like in real NFL football, if the ball hit the defender in the helmet, and his helmet was turned going down the field, like not looking at the ball at all, not playing the ball, obviously. Look at that little. I think that was a crossing across the field. That was nice.
Having those two players back healthy.
But yeah,
that
should be a
Robert Griffin III starting his second
year,
so
not paying attention to the ball, not playing the ball.
And Kyle Shanahan's going to have his second year with Robert
we run it down to the 2-minute warning here. Alfred Morris has amazing trucking, actually. I did not realize that until I started running more, I think now and into the second half. But he has like 96 or 97 trucking, which I think is better than Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch shakes off tacklers better. But Alfred Morris, if you're going straight on a guy and you lower your head, you press up on that stick. Look at Morgan, wide open. Then Alfred Morris will just truck right over me. So we're not really too worried about, if we score right here and leave him a minute and a half, we're not really that worried. Our defense has been playing amazing. Shutout football in the first half of the online ranked game, where there's 6-minute quarters instead of 4 minutes, like for Mutt. Pretty happy with that. You couldn't really ask. Well, you can't ask for more on a defense. And then, Alfred Morris gives it back to football. And when you're up like this, it may only take one thing to make your opponent go either way. If I would have scored right there, if I would have punched it in, I probably would have gone for 2 just to make it a 4-possession game. He might quit. He might just quit right there. But instead, he gets the lucky Seahawks fumble. It's my second fumble of the game. Fumbles are like, it's really never your fault. Especially when you're running like a halfback dive up the middle. I guess it's kind of more my fault. Nice little bubble screen. I think it was a wide receiver screen. But it's never really fault. It's more the RG3 fumble was more my fault because I could have got out of the way. With Alfred Moore's halfback dive straight up the middle and he fumbles, you can't do anything about that. Whatever. So he's got, that makes me even more proud of my defense at this point, that he had forced 2 fumbles, and that's, it's just all me bad using. I pressed on, and for some reason, I pressed back on my analog stick. Thank God he ran out of bounds, though, because that would have been painful. But, yeah. Not very happy, because if I would have used that, I at least could have batted it down. But at this point, I probably would have gone for the interception. And look at that. He just throws it. Oh, right. I think that was D'Angelo Hall, right over D'Angelo Hall's head. And if I would have, once again, if I would have clicked on and I would have ball hawked that, I probably could have intercepted that. What are you going to do?
That was a big gainer. Now it's time to back it up.
But there is 59 seconds left. He sends out. Can't tell you who that is. It's either Golden Tate or Doug Baldwin. I'll tell you that. Scrambles with Wilson and no throw for him. So I would like to stop him here. I would like to hold him to a field goal. I feel like that pass play I gave up was. It's very fluky. Most of the time, okay, that was Tate on.
The Seahawks will approach this play from out of
nice halfback pitch right there by him there. Good call. That's pretty fluky. Most of the time, I'm going to press B, and I'm going to ball hawk that, and usually knock it down or usually intercept it. I think that's like, it's one of the halfback. Look at that, Marshawn Lynch trucking me over 2 guys. I think that's one of the problems with this game, actually, is that I feel like you have more of an advantage as a defender, like one-on-one, like even against like Calvin Johnson, you know, who's incredibly tall and has a great catch. You know, if you're the defender and you're one-on-one with him, and you press B to go up and get the ball, I feel like you intercept it more than Calvin Johnson would catch it. And I feel like that's one of the biggest problems with this game. I understand why he just did that. I do. You know, but he didn't need to. He does get the ball back at the start of the second half. You know, and if he can't stop me on defense from like the 20 with 30 seconds left on the clock, then he has no hope in winning this game.
A tight end, but lined up in the backfield for this play.
Look at Morgan, and then he drops it. I could not believe it. I was so happy and then so sad all at the same time. Oh, 40-yard pass. I think his name's Joseph Morgan. I'm very sad at you, Joseph. Catches it, goes up, beat the coverage, and then drops it on the ground. What are you going to do, though? It happens. I keep looking for Moss here over the middle, and look at another drop. Really?
Are so good now. Anytime you see a drop pass, it's almost always the one reason. They took their eyes off the football before
so frustrating. And I saw that gameplay told me to do the bench, or told me to do bench. I think it was close bench. And I was actually going to go ahead and do that because I thought this sounded like a decent play call here at 3rd and 10. But I couldn't find it. Moss, again. At least he held on to it this time. Take the timeout here. I want you to get as big of a lead as possible. Once again, this is one of those things I did not mean to do. Did not mean to come out in 4 verticals. But I just mashed the buttons too hard. You know, what are you going to do? Good out route there to Santana Moss, catching it, nice 8-yard gain. That's all I need. I need, you know, maybe like 1 more of those, and then I'll get 2 to 3 shots at the end zone with,
after that grab, it's now
10 seconds left on the clock, and he's wide open. Joseph Morgan redeeming himself for that drop. So he's down to where he would have been down. If he would have been down after that 40-yard catch. So that was perfect. We have 8 seconds left on the clock. We're going to... I shouldn't have tried this. These should have been almost all passing plays. Yeah, that was a bad decision on my part. Take the timeout, and I think I do elect to go for the field goal here. Just to go up 20-7. You know, I feel like the touchdown he scored, I feel like he could not score that against me again. My defense has been playing great. You know, so I was feeling really confident. So he does get the ball, you know, but we're not that worried about it. Our defense is awesome, even though they're really bad. It's easier to say that he has a hit stick.
He'll start his return.
He just runs right through it every time. He's standing still. I have my guy coming in on a hit stick, and he just runs right through it. Boo. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say that his, me holding him down like this is more of a representation of his offense rather than my defense.
And now here's the first snap.
And I should have had the sack. I should have had the tackle on the backfield, and he takes the goddamn wide receiver screen like 50 yards. You know, that's the second like 50-yard fluky play he sent me with. If you go back, if you rewind that, a half second, I had his quarterback, and I had his, take that, Russell, take a seat, son. And then I should have had Lynch. I don't really know what happened. I don't even think I went in for like a hit stick there. I just clicked on and tried to, like, you know, tackle. Just clicked on at the last second, tried to tackle him down, and Marshawn Lynch just runs right through it. So, I was not very happy at this point in the game. Not very happy. Because he should not be in this game. I finally get a hit stick, but he still holds on to the ball. Curse. Which I'm assuming he does not have a great catch. Or, you know.
Offense lines up
here. And he, what am I trying to say? Kind of quick hiked me here. Didn't let me set up and goal line. 4th and 2, I came right through the line on that play. You know, usered it. And, you know, I'm thinking, if he's gonna run the hurry up like this, he's probably gonna run the exact same play. So I shift my line over. You know, I get him ready. I'm ready with Fletcher to come right through that gap. I don't know why he took so long on some of these plays. He should have been trying to score as quickly as possible.
He sends the halfback in
sends
motion.
a man into motion, but I'm still pretty certain he's going to be running the exact same play. But he doesn't. And look at that open field tackle right there. Look at that. Turnover on downs. Give me it. And as you just saw on your screen, Russell Wilson was 9 for 18. 50% passing completion in Madden is not good. That is not good. And then the 3rd fumble of this game. What did I say about the Seahawks? It's just like they touch you and you give them the ball because you're just afraid. You're like, here, I don't want this. Just please stop hitting me. The 3rd fumble of the game. The 2nd on RG3. He wasn't even hit stick. Like, if he would have fumbled right there, I would not have been mad. I would have been like, all right, RG3 got laid out. You got the ball back. You know, he probably would have scored. That's fine. That's cool. You know, but when he, like, runs into a pile and then he just drops the ball, like Alfred Morris did earlier, that does not make me happy. And I thought Santana Moss was going to be open. Try to force one into Joseph Morgan. And it does not work. Richard Sherman. You know, what are you going to do? Richard Sherman's going to catch that all day long. Shouldn't have tried to force it. Not smart. But, you know, you live and you learn. He's still, this is what amazed me, is he was still throwing the ball. Give me that back! Let's go. Riley. He's fast. He's fast. He's fast. You gonna get him, Russell? I don't think so. Haha. Touchdown. Let's go. So, that made me a lot happier in the game. It just lifted my spirits. I even forget what I was talking about. Even commentating this, that play made me extremely happy. I forgot what I was talking about before. Fumbling, weird fumbles. And I love when I'm playing people and they start doing this. Because they don't realize it, but I will kick it. I will keep kicking it that way. And when he moves out of the way, and if I can get my guy down there fast enough, he will take that ball. That ball will be mine. And it's hard to do. You know, you have to have a really, really fast guy on the outside. I forget which team. I think on my ultimate team, I forget who I have at the corner. And he tries to go one-on-one. D'Angelo Hall, it bounces off of somebody's helmet. But I'll take that. I don't need the interception every time. But it takes really, really fast guy on the outside or a really, really good bounce. Usually you don't get that bounce, though, because usually you're angling it towards the sideline. So usually it'll, like, bounce up once and then bounce out of bounds.
2nd and 10.
But if you have a fast enough guy, you can get over there. It's not that hard. And then I know you saw that I clicked on right there, but it clicked onto the wrong guy. Like the guy that would have laid the hit on the wide receiver rather than, I think that was my linebacker that could have intercepted that. But whatever.
Offense lines up here.
Up 27-7. Yeah, and he's still content to try to pass the ball, which, you know, it's not working. He can't pass the ball with Russell Wilson right now. You know, I figured out a pretty decent scheme with the Redskins, you know, in this 3-4 cover 3. Use a Fletcher, and then I have Hall. Thank you, Jesus, that he overthrew that ball, because there was 3 guys around him, but he had beaten the coverage there. And that would have been, I guess that wouldn't have been as fluky a play, you know, if you beat the coverage, as the Marshawn Lynch, you know, wide receiver screen or Boba screen, one of them, I don't know. They're the same thing, kind of. Or the other one. What was the other one? Oh, the one where I just usered off of the wide receiver and gave him a free catch. You know, it's going to happen. And then he takes forever. You know, it's like, hey, you're down 20 points. Let's be honest here. Are you really going to come back?
He makes
and
the catch. Now they take the football onto the opponent's side of the field.
I like this. Show some patience. Don't try to get it all one
but
play.
that's one of my biggest pet peeves in this game. You know, like when you're way down or when you're way up,
in the slot.
And you know, you're in the third quarter, 2.5 minutes left, and you take forever. And I don't know where my coverage went on that. I think Zach Miller just slipped right up the middle on like one of the seam routes, and nobody picked him up. I say nobody picked him up. They're in zone, so it's not anybody's job really to pick him up. Rolls out here with Wilson. Yeah, one of my 4 guys could have had that.
You might as well
I'll
catch
take it.
because you're going to take the big hit no matter
Usually
what.
I would come out and sort of like a goal line stance here, but he had been passing the ball every single down, and he continued to do so.
Under fire on that
so I really had no reason, you know, if he would have ran it 4 times with Marshawn Lynch on just straight like halfback dives or halfback stretches, you know, if he would have ran it 4 times and all he needed was 10 yards for a touchdown, odds are I probably wouldn't have been able to stop that. You know, but he had not run the ball. You know, Russell Wilson at this point, well, the last stat we saw, he had attempted 18 passes. I think he had attempted, it's probably fair to say 5 or 7 since then. And he catches it.
Terrible job that time by the defense.
So back to my point. He had thrown it probably 25 times, and he goes for 2 here. Which, looking at the score, he didn't really need to do. If he goes for 2, he gets 15, 23. Yeah, it makes no difference. So I wasn't really that worried giving that. Now he's down by 12, but it's still 12 is still a 2-possession game. 14 still would have been a 2-possession game. Goes for an onside kick here. I was ready for it.
Onside kick formation.
I knew he was going to come out in the onside kick. Anyways, back to that Russell Wilson stat. He had thrown it probably 25-ish times. And I think he had maybe ran it 5 to 7 times. You know, you can't go away from your best player, even when you're down. You know, you got to stick with him. Granted, everybody does that. You know, everybody gets down. And I ran it backwards here, just so when I drove down the field, I could take more time off the clock. You know, that's actually a smart decision by him there. That decision makes more sense there than it did earlier in the game when he was only down when he was down more, it made less sense. If that makes any sense, what I'm saying. Because then he just tried to compound my lead. And I get a little wiggly with the stick here. But that's fine. You know, I'll take the. I think that's almost 5 yards. 4 yards. I'll take the 4 yards with RG3 all day. If I wouldn't have wiggled the stick right there, no pun intended. Then that probably could have been like a 10 to 15 yard play instead of a 4 yard play. But hey, whatever. Gives me an opportunity to take some time off the clock. Even though you see, I'm not milking all the way. You know, I'm not that worried about it. I'm trying to stay in bounds with Jordan Reed here. So I'm trying to stay in bounds, trying to burn some time off the clock, but I'm not going to run it down to 1. Because I'm not really worried about this guy posing a threat to me. I'm not really worried about this guy coming back. I'm more interested in putting a beating on him so that hopefully he either concedes or quits to me by the start of the 4th quarter. You know, if I take off the rest of the 3rd quarter and like 2 minutes in the 4th quarter and he's down, should have pitched the ball right there.
So many things
I don't know what I was doing.
Down, and what do you come up?
I guess I thought I could just take it with RG3.
Bad play call.
But yeah, that's the goal. The goal is to get him at this point to concede or quit. You know, I'm not really worried about scoring extremely fast, but I'm not going to burn as much time off the clock as I can either. Just because that's also kind of an asshole-ish thing to do with this much time left on the clock. You know, if there was 2 minutes and I was up this much, I have no problem, you know, running it 3 plays in a row. Look at Jordan Reed holding onto the ball over the middle. Five guys right there. 5 Seahawks defenders. And my boy Jordan Reed comes down with it. But like if it was a close game and there's 2 minutes left, I have no problem running it, you know, 4 times in a row, trying to get a first down to end the game. If it's close and you think you might lose, that's perfectly fine. You know, take as much time off the clock as you need. But when you're in a game like this and you're up by a decent amount, you know, have some fun. It helps to, you know, like when you're in a game like this, it's kind of like, you know, you're in the lab. You can see what works against, and I would consider this guy pretty average. You know, I say that, and then I throw him right to Sherman.
He stacked up at that.
Like that Sherman. Yep, that's Sherman again. He's jumping my routes. You know, I would say this guy is pretty average, maybe below average. He's just honestly gotten really lucky in this game. The 2 interceptions, I don't count those really as luck. But I did have 3 fumbles, 2 of them which were lost, I believe. And then his 2 flaky 50-yard plays, which I don't usually give up that often.
Wilson will take it from the gun. He'll fire it out to the left.
Look at that. Good dot right there by Russell Wilson.
Good pass protection for the
That's impressive.
all day long.
But yeah, you know, this game could have been like 45-0. At this point in the game, it really could have. But you know, he's playing with the Seahawks. When you play with the Seahawks, you're going to get that. Like I said, I don't think the Sherman interceptions were luck. You know, those are bad reads by me. And look at, how does he get open right there? Good hit by ball.
Anytime you give a quarterback that kind of time.
But yeah, obviously the fumbles, you know, especially when you're running into a pile and the ball just comes out, that's pretty lucky. And unless you're playing with the Seahawks, the 49ers, the Panthers, somebody of that caliber, you're not going to get those lucky fumbles. Especially now with the Redskins, you know, they don't have the hit power that the Seahawks do. They don't have the speed of the Seahawks secondary and the linebackers to get in there and make big plays like that. But good for him for going back to the run right here. Look at Lynch. What a beast. See, that's what, if he would just run the ball, if he would, oh, that was Turbin. Even more impressive. If he would just run the ball, not to like critique his game at all, you know, but if he would just run the ball and let his Seahawks play like their crazy, crazy defense they do, and why would you go for it here? You're still going to be down a touchdown.
For the 2-point conversion.
You know, a touchdown to get in front of me. It makes no sense.
Marshawn Lynch takes the football. That hurts. The 2-point try.
And that's what you get. That's what you get. You get injured. Marshawn Lynch, get off my field.
He's in pain.
And then I line up for an onside kick, and he doesn't onside kick it. You know, like, apparently now he thought he was back in the game. Being down 6, 4:45 left, and down Marshawn Lynch, and he's still down his second tight end from, like, the first play of the game. Now he thinks he's back in the game? I did not understand his thinking on this. And I'll gladly take the fair catch. You know, I will take all the time I can, and I will drive down that field, and good luck stopping me.
The Redskins are set for their next possession.
Come out in the half-back stretch here. Really like the spot. Good block right there. Appreciate that. And 15-yard run. I probably should have actually ran it more in this game than I did. And Marshawn Lynch, as you just saw, will be out for the rest of the game. So huge blow to him there. He is down. Marshawn Lynch, which is completely his fault. Being dumb, going for 2 and he didn't need to. X is going to be wide open. Yeah. See, I played this game 2 days ago. I think I played a couple games of Madden since. But just watching some of my reads, sometimes I have really good reads and sometimes I have just absolutely horrible reads. Like the interceptions, where I just try to throw it in there. I should be running the ball right here. I don't know what I'm doing. I have Alfred Morris. And
he stayed on the wide receiver. He was
I think I go back to the halfback stretch here. There's a couple more guys on that side, though, than I would like to see. Flip the play, which makes me pretty happy. And then one of his guys gets a block shed. But look at Alfred Morris using that. I shouldn't give him a number. I think it's 97, 96 or 97 trucking, just running guys over. So this was wise. You know, the guy should have onside kicked it. If he's going to onside kick it almost the entire game, and then he's going to kick it off regular to me, let me fair catch it at the 11, which I'm going to do every single time. You know, because I feel very confident in my offense against this guy. And look at Paulson catching down his knees. You know, I'm going to drive down the field against you. Obviously not run every play like I should. But, you know, I'm gonna run most of the clock down, and if you onside kick it there, and, you know, I'll probably still try to run it backwards to give myself more field to play with. But if you can get to me quick, or if, like, one of my guys has to dive for the ball to catch the onside, then you pin me at the 40, then, you know, I can't run as much time off the clock, and I'm not even milking the clock. You know, this is like a normal drive. You know, granted, my run to pass has switched from like 70% pass to 70% run. But that's going to happen, you know, when I'm up by 6. Look at Alfred Morris. Look at him go. What a beast. I definitely should have used him more. It could be interesting if you guys want to see it, and if you guys are still watching, just leave a comment below saying yes or no if you want to see me do like some random challenges. I think it'd be interesting to do like a run-only challenge or a pass-only challenge. I saw Mr. Golden Sports field goal-only challenge, which is ridiculous. He has an amazing defense, so he can get away with that. But us normal people, yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. We're not going to be able to just kick field goals, intercept, kick field goals. Yeah, it's tough. But he is wasting his timeouts here. We are up still by 6. Perfectly content to keep running my half. Oh, no, just kidding. Just kidding. I don't know why I'm throwing it here.
Gonna get set in the
Actually, I think this is the play. I think this is the play. Nope, maybe not. Nope, just kidding. That's touchdown.
In for the score.
Apparently, I'm remembering a different game. Because I thought I was going to throw an interception. So I am thinking of a different game. But pretty happy. I do go ahead and go for 2. Maybe? Yeah.
I know it's hard
because I'm up 12 here, and I want to be up 14. I want to be up with 2 full touchdowns. So this is a time where you would actually go for it, Mr. Opponent, not while you're, 27-21, where it makes no difference either way. So get the 2-point conversion. We are up 35-21. And then I try to be a smart ass. I try to onside kick it because I was like, hey, let me get it back. Let me score again. And this is what I get. This is what I get. Takes it down to the 5-yard line on me. Picks the correct decline on the illegal touching. And hey, it happens. But
here they are inside the 20, and they
okay, a little bit freeze. But my defense has been playing solid all game. I got to throw up that goal line pinch zone because he has been running it a little bit more, but I thought he would probably pass it. He wasn't expecting all those guys to drop back into coverage. So I'll take that. Thank you. Throw it right to me. So I get rewarded for a bad play with that onside kick. And this is where he goes ahead and offers to concede. I accept. I will take the victory. I thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Face Off Friday. If you did, leave a like. See you guys later. Peace.